You finally sit down, ready to answer one message, finish one report, or maybe just breathe for a moment. And there it is. Your cat arrives with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly where the center of the room is. One smooth leap, a soft thud, and suddenly the laptop belongs to them now. Their body settles across the keyboard as if your work has been gently, unmistakably canceled by royal decree. At first, it can feel almost personal. Maybe your cat is jealous. Maybe they were being stubborn. Maybe they simply want attention, and this is their most effective strategy. And of course, it is hard not to laugh, even while you sigh and move them for the third time. There is something deeply familiar in that little interruption, something almost symbolic. In a world that moves too fast, your cat has chosen this exact moment to say, "Not yet. Look here. Be with me." But what if that tiny act is not a nuisance at all? What if your laptop is not just a device to your cat, but a place charged with meaning? Warmth rises from it like a small sun. Your scent lingers on it, carrying the invisible map of your day. It sits in the middle of your attention, where your focus gathers, and your hands return again and again. In your cat's world, that makes it important. A threshold. A territory worth claiming. And maybe that is why this behavior touches us so deeply, because when a cat settles on your work, it is not only blocking the screen, it is stepping into the space between your task and your life, asking to be included in the story you are telling yourself at that moment. For some cats, that means cuts. For others, closeness. For many, it means warmth, security, and a quiet assurance that their place in the home is still secure. If you have ever stared at your keyboard beneath a purring body and wondered, "Why here?" You are not alone. That question opens the door to something much more interesting than mischief. And once you begin to see what your cat may actually be communicating, the whole scene changes. So keep listening, because the reason your cat claims your laptop may reveal far more about their inner world than you ever expected. There is something almost comical about the way a cat can transform an ordinary workday into a quiet negotiation. One moment, your desk is yours alone. The next, your laptop is under a velvet claim, and your cat is settled there with the calm authority of someone who believes the world was arranged for this exact purpose. And if you've ever looked at that little body stretched across your keyboard and felt a flash of annoyance, you are not alone. But beneath that interruption is a language older than words. Cats do not simply wander into our lives to be difficult. They observe, they remember. They read the atmosphere of a room with a sensitivity that can feel almost uncanny. When your hands are moving over a keyboard, your attention becomes concentrated, your posture changes, your scent gathers around a familiar object, and warmth rises softly from the machine. To a cat, that combination can feel like a signal. Here is heat. Here is scent. Here is something alive with meaning. Here is the place where your focus lives. In a way, the laptop becomes more than a tool. It becomes a threshold. It is where your gaze goes when you are working, studying, paying bills, writing, or talking to someone far away. Your cat may not understand the task, but it understands the ritual. It sees that when you sit there, a doorway opens between your world and the outside world, and cats have never been indifferent to doors. They want to stand where the passage happens. They want to be near the center of the moment. Sometimes that is mistaken for jealousy. And perhaps there is a small truth in that human translation. Not jealousy exactly, but a desire not to be left out. A cat who climbs onto your laptop may be saying, in the only way it knows, "Know this place matters to you, so it matters to me too." That is why it often happens at the exact moment you become most absorbed. The cat is not necessarily trying to block your life. It may be trying to enter it. If you've noticed your cat doing this, maybe give a quiet light to the universe for the strange tenderness of it. Because once you stop seeing the behavior as sabotage, you begin to notice the real pattern. Heat, scent, attention, tension. And once you see that, the next question becomes even more interesting because laptops are only part of the story. There are papers, notebooks, desks, and the hidden reasons cats choose them all. At first, the scene feels almost comical. You open your laptop, ready to begin the day, and your cat arrives with quiet certainty, stepping between you and the screen, as if the work itself were only a minor inconvenience. But behind that small act is a deeper language, one that cats have been speaking for centuries in ways that are subtle, instinctive, and deeply social. Your laptop is warm. Your desk smells like you. Your hands move there often. In your cat's world, that makes it important. And there is something else too. Your workspace is not just a surface. It is the place where your attention gathers. Cats are remarkable observers of human rhythm. They notice when you settle into a task, when your eyes narrow toward a screen, when your hands become still. To a cat, that moment can feel like a door closing. So they step in, not always to interrupt, but to participate. It is as if they are saying, if this matters to you, then it matters to you. That is why a cat may choose the keyboard over the nearby cushion, the papers over the soft blanket, the exact center of your notebook instead of the edge of the chair. The object is not the prize. The connection is. Your cat is drawn to the place where your life seems to concentrate itself. In a house full of rooms, your desk becomes a little kingdom of shared meaning. The cat does not read your calendar or understand deadlines, but it understands presence. It understands that being close to you is where security and belonging. Of course, that does not mean you must surrender every work session to feline rule. The answer is not frustration, and it is not rejection either. It is gentle redirection. A warm bed placed nearby. A soft blanket in the same room. A few minutes of play before you sit down. Small rituals that tell your cat, you are included, even when I am focused. When that message is clear, the need to claim your keyboard often softens. And perhaps that is the quiet lesson hidden inside this everyday interruption. What looks like stubbornness may actually be a search for closeness. What feels like a nuisance may be an invitation to understand more deeply how your cat experiences your world. If this has ever happened to you, give the video a like so others can find this insight too. And tell me, does your cat sit on your laptop, your papers, or right in the middle of your plans? Because in the next part, we'll see how this behavior can be guided without breaking the bond that makes it meaningful. And once you begin to see it, the scene changes. Your cat is no longer just an interruption crossing your day. It becomes a small, living mystery with its own logic. The laptop glows. It hums softly. It holds the warmth of your hands, the scent of your skin, and the quiet proof that you are here, focused on something that does not include them. To a cat, that can feel like a powerful invitation. Not an order, not a rebellion, but a message written in heat and attention. This is where the life is happening. That is why the behavior often deepens at the very moment you need concentration most. The desk becomes a stage. The papers become a nest. The keyboard becomes a barrier between you and the attention your cat has learned to value. And if your cat has ever stepped directly onto the keys and looked back at you with complete calm, as if to say, yes, I know exactly what I've been doing, then you already understand the strange elegance of the moment. It is almost funny, almost funky. Many people respond with frustration, but frustration misses the deeper truth. Cats do not sit on your laptop because they want to ruin your work. They sit there because your work has become part of their world. You are important. Your smell is comforting. Your attention is precious. Even the shape of your routine matters to them. In that sense, the laptop is not really the destination. It is the symbol of your engagement, the object that seems to pull you away from the social bond they are trying to protect. And that is where understanding begins to transform this friendship. Instead of pushing your cat away with irritation, you start asking a better question. What is my cat trying to gain here? Warmth, closeness, a familiar scent, a place in the center of your life. When you answer that question with care, the struggle softens. Heated bed nearby, a window perch, a few minutes of play before you sit down, a soft blanket beside the desk. These are not tricks. They are translations. If this has ever happened to you, give this video a like so more cat lovers can see their own daily story with new eyes. And if your cat has a favorite method of interruption, tell us in the comments. Do they sit on your laptop, lie on your papers, or block your keyboard like they own the office? Because once you understand the reason, the next step is not control. It is guidance. And that is where the real change begins. What begins as a nuisance slowly reveals itself as a kind of conversation. Your cat is not simply interrupting your day. It is stepping into the middle of your world and asking, in the only language it fully trusts, to be noticed. The laptop, with its moving light, its warmth, its scent of your hands, becomes a small stage where your attention gathers. And for a cat, attention is never a trivial thing. It is safety. It is belonging. It is proof that the bond is still alive. That is why so many cats ignore the expensive toy in the corner and settle instead on the papers you are reading, the notebook you just opened, the exact spot where your hands need to go. They are not trying to ruin the moment. In their own quiet logic, they are joining it. They are saying, if this matters to you, then I want to be near it. Sometimes that nearness looks like a heavy body across the keyboard. Sometimes it looks like a tail draped over the mouse. Sometimes it is a slow blink from the center of your work, as if your cat has appointed itself the guardian of your focus. And when you understand that, frustration softens. You start to see that the answer is not force, but invitation. A warm bed beside the desk. A familiar blanket in the center. A few minutes of play before you sit down, so that energy finds a path instead of a target. Small rituals that tell your cat, you are part of my life, even when I am busy. That simple message can change everything, because a cat does not need to be pushed away from connection. It needs to be shown where connection can live without collision. The secret is not to remove your cat from your world, but to widen the world a little so both of you can share it. And maybe that is the deeper lesson hidden inside us. In a life that often asks us to move faster, to stay productive, to keep our attention locked on screens, a cat quietly insists on presence, on warmth, on the reminder that the moment in front of us is also a relationship. If this sounds familiar, give this story a like, so it can reach someone else who has been lovingly conquered by a cat and a keyboard. And tell me, what does your cat claim most often? Your laptop, your papers, your chair, or your full attention? If you want more ways to understand these small mysteries, stay with me, because there is still more to uncover about what your cat is really trying to say. And so, what first felt like an interruption begins to look like something far more meaningful. Your cat is not simply trying to defeat your productivity, as if your keyboard were an enemy to be conquered. In its own quiet language, it is making a proposal. Notice me. Include me. Let me be near you while you move through the strange, glowing world of your work. That is the beautiful twist in this small daily scene. The laptop is warm, yes. It carries your scent, yes. It sits at the center of your attention. But beyond all of that, it becomes a bridge. For your cat, lying across your papers or stepping between your hands, and the keys may be less about disruption and more about belonging. In the cat's mind, your desk is not only a workspace. It is a place of social gravity, a place where your energy gathers, a place where energy gathers. Once you see it this way, the frustration softens. You begin to notice that your cat is not rejecting your routine. It is trying to join it, and that changes everything. Instead of pushing your cat away in the middle of the moment, you can create a gentler path. A warm bed near your desk. A soft blanket in a sunny corner. A few minutes of play before you sit down. These small acts do more than redirect behavior. They tell your cat, you are part of this world too. There is something deeply human in that exchange. We all want to matter to someone. We all want to be near what feels alive and important. Your cat, in its own elegant and mysterious way, is asking for closeness without words. Not every leap onto the laptop is mischief. Sometimes it is trust. Sometimes it is habit. Sometimes it is a tiny declaration of love wrapped in fur and heat. So the next time those paws cross your screen, pause for a breath before you react. Look at your cat and ask yourself what it is trying to say. And if this story felt familiar to you, give the video a like so others can find it too. Then tell us in the comments, does your cat sit on your laptop, lie on your papers, or claim your desk as its own kingdom? And if you want more insight into the hidden language of cats, subscribe, because there is always more to discover in the silent conversation they share with us every day.